Guess what day it is? Yep, it's that day again. Drake Appreciation Day. And this is what this review is going to be. Without further ado, this is Jhammaster J speaking, by the way. Let's get right to it, shall we? Drake's next project I will be reviewing is Thank Me Later. Now, I have already recorded 2 projects that he has already produced before. If you want, check them out. They should be in the right side of the video section on this YouTube video. But, you know, I might hit you with 2 links just in case y'all want to watch them. Now, there was a project I did miss before this, but I felt like that one was so special that I decided I'm going to wait till, I'm the very end to review that one. But without further ado, let's get to it. Thank Me Later is the debut album of Canadian rapper from Toronto, Drake, with longtime producers of this album, 40 and Boy Wonder, with some contributions by No ID, Swiss Beats, 40, Omen, amongst others, and as far as musical contributions by Alicia Keys, Nicki Minaj, Swiss Beats, T.I., Mary J. Blige did some vocals, The Dream, Young Jeezy, Lil Wayne, of course. And that's just pretty much amongst everything else. That was it. This album is actually Drake's debut album. Drake had not had an album at all until he was actually signed by Universal with a pretty good deal. Just the fact that this guy, who, as he said, he's went on multiple occasions to say that he's been signed to Rockefeller twice and all this nonsense. Lil Wayne actually gave him a deal the first time and Drake declined it. But the second time managed to actually sign the deal, seal, and deliver. And this is the first album we have. Now, from what we understand, this was actually Drake's album that was pretty rushed. From what we can understand, Drake was under pressure to release this. I even heard at one point Drake actually did some music on the bus. I don't know, but regardless, my thoughts on this album is that it's actually a pretty decent album. It's a really solid album. There's some nice, moody, light, sparse production. Sometimes there's some horns with some instrumentals. The way the production is, some of the songs, it's like it's lightly moody, but also enjoyable at the same time. Getting into the production, like Fireworks, you actually hear fireworks in the beginning and the end, but you hear some nice piano, a very moody, somber piano where Drake just talks about his intro to fame. You have Karaoke, which a little bit more sparse and airy, with some light, production, but some hard-hitting drums when the background hits that actually echo in the song. And then you have Resistance, which is another airy song, as well as Up All Night, Shut It Down. I also want to say CeCe's Interlude has that as well, where you just hear more sparse, airy beats just knocking in the background, while Show Me a Good Time, Up All Night, Unforgettable, and Light Up, as well amongst other tracks, you'll hear a little bit more upbeat with a little bit more electro when the synthesizers hit, and just really production is really the Achilles, although not necessarily the Achilles heel. It doesn't necessarily sound strong. Not bad, just it could have been produced a lot better. Moving on, with the production, some of them were really good. Like, I like some of the beats off Fancy. Shut It Down was amazing, even though the second beat, or the switch up, the reverb switch up for the second half of the song kind of fucked me up, where in the middle it said worship Satan. I'm assuming that's not what it said, but if you're one of those Illuminati guys, you will believe it. You also have, I also love the misty, airy, breathy beat over on CeCe's Interlude. Actually, my favorite track. And really, production, like I said, may not be strong, although there have been some moments where Drake took his time. Drake and the people producing some of these tracks took their time, but for the most part, I think it's also fair to notice that a majority is not that strong. Now, lyrically, Drake gets into themes like introspection, fame. He talks about his introduction to fame. You know, he talks about his parents' divorce, Rihanna, his relationship with his dad. You know, there's a couple of punchlines on Miss Me. Up All Night is just braggadocious rap. You know, Light Up is, you know, just like he's, like he said on a previous track, he's not addressing anyone who's attacking him, with Jay-Z having a nice, you know, a nice into a feature. You know, yeah. So you'll have that. You have him talking about his rise to fame and him appreciating it. And in songs like Recession, you'll see him talk more about how it's going too fast, that it's almost stressful. So you'll see him kind of have two sides of his introduction to fame. Oh, and I cannot forget, he talks a lot about girls on this album. He talks a lot about girls, and lots of girls. Yes, if you haven't noticed by the track Karaoke and Fancy and Up All Night and CeCe's Interlude, my favorite track, and Find Your Love, he does not shut the fuck up about women. Oh my goodness gracious. And the weird part about it is, I don't have a problem with it. I actually like some of the tracks. Like I said, CeCe's Interview is my favorite. Fancy's just another one. He's talking about a girl going to college. He's mentioning his boy, some girl having a purple Bentley, being fine, being independent, and appreciating that. Step on the scale, stare at the number. You're dropping 10 pounds, preparing for summer. Like, he's really, you know, letting y'all know, man, he loves these chicks. He loves these chicks. And I'm assuming on Unforgettable, he talked about breaking up with Malaya just right after Up All Night. Jeez, Drake. Way to, you know, talk about how much you love this girl. Oh, let's not talk about the first song where Drake kind of moonlit this whole thing between Drake and Rihanna. Yes, fireworks in the second verse. Oh, this will be the first out of many songs where Drake just won't shut the fuck up about Rihanna. Yeah, you know, someone as fine as Rihanna, I'd make a million songs about her too. Hit me up, Bad Girl Riri Jhammaster on Instagram. You know you want this. And I do too. Anyway, with that being said, when you have lyrics about introspection, introduction of fame, and women for the most part, you'll get this album. If you're in the mood, you'll get this album. My complaint about this album is not necessarily the lyrics, and if it is, it's minor at best. All I can say is Drake doesn't some of these lyrics are as underwhelming as possible, which is probably the beef I had with his first mixtape, Room for Improvement. I feel like with this mixtape, with this album, Drake doesn't really take his time. There are lyrically, there are a lot of moments when he talks about vivid imagery, like when he's talking about girls and lots of it. They're there, but some songs like Over and Miss Me, lyrically, it feels like Drake is taking a step back after he made a huge improvement on Comeback Season and songs later to come after that. But in this album, he doesn't. He there are lots of moments, but when he is doing brag rap, the lyrics are pretty forgettable. And I think this is the problem with this album, is that when you listen to this album, you listen to it for the moment, but this album does not stick at all. It's actually a pretty forgetful album compared to a lot of Drake's projects that he's released that I'm going to review. This and Room for Improvement are Drake's most forgettable projects, easily. And that sucks, because this is a really good project, but clearly the promotion kind of just stopped after the summer, and Young Money just went straight to Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj had a lot more staying power with her album. This, not so much. Would suck, but it is what it is. But on the good news, Drake, I was going to give this a 6 out of 10, but I actually had to listen to it again a couple of times before I actually decided to come out and give this a rating, and I actually realized this is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. So I'm actually going to bump it up and give it a 7 out of 10, and that's just me being me. With that being said, if you like this album, if you hate this album, let me know in the comment section what you feel about Thank Me Later. Once again, this is one of those very few reviews that I do on YouTube that you'll find with this, as well as his other mixtapes. Obviously after this you'll see more reviews on Drake's album, but I can definitely say this is one of the first reviews, if not first few reviews that are on YouTube. If you like this album, like I said, let me know. If there's anything you want me to do, you want me to review, you got some criticism you want to give me, let me know. I'm here for y'all. Jhammaster J family, we're all here, we're all in this together. And if you're an independent artist looking to come up, you know where to find me. And follow the person whose vlog music is getting played in these videos. His name will be in the description, and his channel will be in the description as well. And if you got something to criticize me about, go ahead. I'll take the L. Let me know. With that being said, without saying anything else, this is Jhammaster J signing off for the crotch grab.